Okay, here we go into the third episode of our speed build of Jurassic World Park. Today I'm going to build most of South America, and next time we'll finish it. I'm starting this little peninsula into what's going to be the Amazon rainforest inspired exhibit. Obviously, we don't have jungle trees on this biome, so we're not going to have a proper Amazon rainforest, but it's going to be more prehistoric looking. You'll see what I mean. We're going to create decently dense forest as best we can. So I'm just finicking with the pathwork here. I want to have an aviary with Myrodactylus and Tropleognathus because those are our two South American pterosaurs that we have. I didn't want to curve this around. I wish I could bring that exactly to the edge of the aviary, but unfortunately the aviary has the large tip box in like any game ever. I'm not sure what I was planning to do in this area here, but you'll see me throughout the episode just put in some pathwork and a few buildings. Alright, so here we go. There's going to be a guest section down here. A couple of Mindy's. Okay, here we go. With this path, I like to create facility path. I like to create like a curved outline and then fill in with different colors. I just think that looks nice. Just with that path, curves just look really good. And I don't like, I'm gonna delete this actually. I don't like how this fence looks, how it obscures the view of the peninsula, but we don't have the invisible fence on this building set, so there's not a lot I can do about that. I'm just connecting that to the zip line. Alright, here we go. Flattening out the terrain to get some sharp edges, which I'm going to paint with a rock, which I think that looks pretty good. Up here, I'm building like a water dam to hold back the water of the river, which gives a cool effect to be like in the distance of the exhibit. I'm just using this minimum fence length to make sure I can get it even on both sides. And then here we go. Bringing the water in, which is not actually coming from anywhere. It's really just in the forest. This created a lot of terrain finickiness, and obviously we can't actually just create a waterfall here, even though that'd be nice. It's not Prehistoric Kingdom, but we're gonna pretend it's the. Sorry, it's very early in the morning. I'm tired. Anyway, painting this dirt gives the implication that when it's raining or when it's a little bit less dry, the water will be a waterfall and it will flow down to the artificial lake. I'm interspersing the the prehistoric trees with the alpine trees, which creates a cool effect. Now I'm just going to place a ton of individually placeable trees, big bushes with the fluffy bush. Yeah, so just a lot of foliage work here. Just want to listen to the sound effect. Since this is a speed build, I have the footage on 500% speed. So, I just find the sounds to be kind of funny. We're just using an aviary viewing gallery on this aviary. I know I'm using kind of basic attractions, but we're just at the start of the park. So, that's all we're going to do this time. Especially for such a small aviary, and I don't want to use the viewing domes or the log viewing gallery yet. We're just going to use the log viewing gallery once or twice. Alright, so here we go, smoothing out that terrain. Whenever I have a sloped path that guests need to walk on, I always smooth it out to make sure it's even. And so here we go, I'm going to do some exhibit work on the inside of this aviary. Alright, so this is a really small aviary, so there's not a lot to place here. Just some smaller foliage. That's the second one, I don't know what it's called. It provides ground leaf. Oh, I can't place the hat tree. I gotta delete that. Alright, here we go. Tropleognathus. Oh, I gotta connect the path. I'm gonna delete that arrival building in just a second. Alright, going for like an orange-green color. Alright, there we go. 2 Myrodactylus, 4 Tropleognathus, which is a small aviary, but, you know, just because of the size of the animal doesn't necessarily, you know, I actually think Troplegnathus was the largest pterosaur in the game at launch. I might be wrong about that, but it might still be the second largest, except for maybe the Jurassic Park creature as well. I don't know. I might do a pterosaur size comparison. It's actually kind of surprising to see some of them, like the Pterodactylus is way smaller than I thought it was. Alright, here we go. Marodactylus, which I don't use very often because it's not super unique compared to a lot of the pterosaurs that we have. Alright, anyway, as I was saying, just because they're bigger animals doesn't necessarily mean they need a big exhibit. Different animals just need different areas. And I like the idea of the aviary sort of inside and outside the enclosure. I'd rather not use the glass domed one here, but that's the only one we have in the building set. Okay. Here we go. So I wasn't sure what to put in the center of this area and to connect here, so I just did a little, like, walk through the forest, smoothing out the terrain as much as I can. Alright, so I'm putting this behind this concrete fence back here, and also just sort of to enclose the whole area. I don't actually like how the peninsula looks, but I just really wish I could use the invisible fences. But since I'm playing on an Xbox One S, I can't use the invisible fences in the same building set as Jurassic World, which is the one we're using. Alright, so just a ton of rocks. I'm using the new randomized rock feature. Ooh. But yeah. And here there's going to be a small exhibit. I don't know, I'm going to put a small dinosaur in there. Some small South American dinosaur. I like using these as a fence for something little. I think I've already said this in the last episode. But anyway, as I place all these. So I'm thinking about what kind of content should I add to the channel, because it's not doing very well. I know it's still a very new channel, but we're still not doing that well. So, if you have any ideas for what kind of things you want to see from me or in Jurassic World Evolution 2 or any dinosaur games really, yeah, let me know in the comments. Alright, so here we go. I didn't quite like that, but I wanted to keep it consistent there with these decoration pieces. So as I was looking for a small South, oh, Margaret, let's do that. Oh, they don't count as carnivores, so we have to turn off food for all species. So now, like, our Mosasaurus won't eat from the feeders. So no. Well, yeah. So, where was I? Yeah. Placing these. So I was going to put a small dinosaur in here from South America, and then I realized we don't have any small dinosaurs from South America in the game. We only have big ones, and actually not as many as I thought. The only ones we have, I think, are Dreadnoughtus, Carnotaurus, Margosaurus, Giganotosaurus, Marodactylus, Troplegnathus. I know those are dinosaurs, but species. And then is Nitrosaurus? No, it's not. It's in the name. Yeah, that's it. So, actually kind of running out of species, but at least that means I'll be able to finish this continent in less than, like, 10 episodes. I think, yeah, we're gonna finish this continent next episode. Alright, so there I'm just, blocking up that path, those concrete, well, I guess blocking it off isn't the right word, just enclosing it. Alright, I'm using these green, flags as, like, their signs. Pretend they have writing on them. Because we don't have, like, writable signs. It's not Minecraft. We can't do that. Sadly, that would be really cool, though. Alright, so just customizing these amenities. I started to build an exhibit in here. I didn't feel like there was a lot to do. And since we didn't have... Oh, these fountains, I like to use those as water troughs. I just recolor the lights dark. And then they don't look like fountains. They can just be, like, water dispensers. So anyway, here we go. Closing up the path. These wooden planters, which I haven't used these yet, and I wanted to keep kind of a theming, but they They just look really good. So, alright, here's like a little photo moment, I guess. Aviary sign, some trash bins. Alright, so here I realized we don't have a dinosaur to put in this exhibit. This is where I'm looking for one. Um, and so I thought, well, what can I do with this? And I decided to make it an unfinished exhibit. There's not a dinosaur in there. We're gonna set it up to, yeah, like supplies, cages, a crane. Like the rocks are fake rocks. We'll have perfectly straight rows of trees and bushes to make it look like they're fake trees that they're gonna place around the exhibit. And I didn't have room, but I like to do little piles of like unique terrain things. Like if I had sand or snow, I'd place some in a little spot and then raise it up off the ground to make it look like there's a pile of that. So anyway, that's like an unfinished exhibit because this is a newly opening park. Um, I know not everyone would like to do unfinished exhibits like that, but I just think that's a touch of realism that I like to add. Because realism matters more to me in these parks than what the game says I should place. Alright, here, we're gonna have a defined hotel section, which we're gonna build this section, the episode after next. So, I'm pretending this isn't a hotel, it's some other building, like a guest help center, or just a community center, or staff center. Like, even like the Innovation Center in Jurassic World, it's just a big building with stuff in it. Could be a little dinosaur museum. Who knows? So I wasn't sure what to do with this path here, so I just connected lots of different colors, sort of fill in that space. Here we go, some planters. And I always try to light everything up well. I'm going to lower this down. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. But anyway, I always like to make sure everything's lit up well, because half the time your park's at night. So I like to view it at nighttime. Have a restroom, because, you know, we've been on the monorail. They haven't gone to the bathroom in 30 whole minutes. But anyway, yeah, something really annoying with the restroom buildings is that the path curves towards them, even if it's not near the actual path attachment point. Okay, so here we go. Just filling this in. Some bushes. Alright, this is like this little section with like a nature area. Now I'm placing flags. And no, looking at this now, I realize that these planters aren't centered, which is annoying. And I'm gonna delete every other one so guests can walk between them. Alright. So here we go. I'm focusing a lot on plants on this continent. Every continent's gonna have its own feel. Well, I'm gonna try to do that as best I can within a single biome. I'm gonna connect that better next time. Alright, here I'm gonna do some terrain work. Flatten this out maybe. And yeah, that's about it. We're gonna get our dinosaurs now. We're gonna use the Dreadnoughtus, which I think that's from South America. Yeah, it is. Dreadnoughtus. I'm using the 2022 variant, so if you like, we can pretend that's Argentinosaurus. And I wanted to put a carnivore in here, but something like I don't want to put the Giganotosaurus because the Giganotosaurus might attack Dreadnoughtus. So I put Carnotaurus because I feel like Carnotaurus is big enough to be a big carnivore, but small enough to not attack the Dreadnoughtus, especially on its own. So that's it for this episode. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you.